How tall are you?
5'11", I'd say. Probably.
6 foot. Come on,
yeah,
6 foot, 6'1".
I try to stretch it out, but yeah. I don't want to lie.
Okay, so 5'11" in the book, but
yeah.
Okay, you still growing? I mean, you're still young.
I think so. I thought I was done growing like last year, and then I just kept going. So I guess I'm still growing.
So you had a growth spurt. Are you expecting another growth spurt eventually?
I don't think so. The doctors told me 6 foot. So
okay.
We'll see. Hopefully.
Okay. It's a simple question, but to have height in volleyball, how much of an advantage is that to be able to play around the net and get up? And
it's definitely an advantage, but I mean, it's not saying that people who don't have a height factor
contribute. Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, some people just can jump high. I mean, I have a decent vertical, but it's not great. So definitely, my height, I would say, helps me out. So if I didn't have it, it would be tough.
Take me back to last summer, going into the season. Did you guys expect to be state champs? Do you expect to get that far?
No, we didn't. I remember everyone thought my freshman year, we were like, okay, this is our year. And then going into last year, we were like, all right, we're just gonna have fun this year. Like, I remember everyone saying, guys, no matter how bad we do this year, we're gonna have a really fun year. Because we were a young team. We had 4, I think, starting sophomores. Wow. We were a young team. We didn't expect it. I mean, to go that. Once we started our run into states, we were like, okay, we have a shot at this. And we realized it. And I think our coaches knew the whole time that we had it there, but I don't think any of us expected it. I mean, it was awesome that it happened, but none of us were really thinking it would happen.
Wow. Next thing you know, you look up and you're playing Upper Marion, and here we are, and oh my goodness gracious, if we win this, we're the state champs. Wow.
Yeah.
There's been so many great players that have walked these halls. Are you familiar with the names and the history and the girls you probably looked up to when you were little? I mean,
I didn't start playing until I was in middle school, and I never really came to a whole lot of the games. I always knew Rachel Lenz was always the one above me, and I mean, there was always a lot of talk about her. And then I played with Megan Forbes when I was my freshman year, and there was always a lot of talk about her. But I don't know, I've heard names here and there, but I never really came to a whole lot of games, so I'm not really sure.
Okay. You're trying to make a name for yourself, I suppose. I mean, good start.
Not really. I mean, if it happens.
You walk in that gym every day and you see those banners. And I think I've asked 1 million Hempfield kids this, but when you walk in that gym and you look up and see those banners dangling there, what's that do to you?
It's a good feeling. I mean, it takes you back to the whole state run and everything. And I mean, it was a huge accomplishment. It was awesome to do. And I mean, whether or not we'll do it again this year, but just to say that I was on a state championship team, it's a really good feeling. And to go into the gym and see it up there, it's awesome. I love it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. The first time I saw it, I was like, I mean, now we kind of walk in like, oh, there it is. Yeah. But I remember the first time I saw it in there, it was real exciting.
That's not the only one. There's other ones up there.
Yeah. Oh, the state one. The state one's the main one, though.
Does that charge you up? I mean, you guys have set the bar so high here. I mean, what's that do when and it's August and okay, here we are again. What are the expectations?
We have most of our players from last year. Most of us have returned. I mean, I think we have a decent shot at doing well again this year.
Okay.
I mean, there's that last year. The thing was, I think if we would have made our state run multiple times, I don't think we would have won every single time. I think there were 10 teams who could have won states last year. It was just the day. It was just who brought it that day. But I mean, there were so many good teams last year. And I think it's kind of the same thing this year. I mean, if we bring it the day we need to, I think we'll do well.
What got you through that? Do you remember? Think back to that day. What was that like? And
I don't know. I mean,
everything clicked.
It was crazy to just be there in the first place. I mean, well, the first day of pool play, we played Pine Richland, which was supposedly this really great team and everything, and they were really good. But we played. I mean, the first game we blew them out, which we couldn't even believe. I remember I was so excited. And I was like, we just beat the #1 team in the state. And then going into the second day, we were in the semis against Seneca Valley, who had beaten us earlier that year.
That's right, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I mean, this is going to be a really good game. And I mean, everyone was pumped. I don't think it was even like a good game for me. I mean, I played okay, but I think that's when I realized, like, wow, we can win, is when we started playing Seneca Valley. I was like, we have a shot at this.
Wow. And then in the final?
The finals,
again, it just clicked.
We were all pumped for the finals because Upper Marion had beat us the day before, and I mean, they're a really good team, but we did not play well the first day we played them. We just couldn't put anything together. So I mean, we were all pumped, ready to get back. We've never lost to a team twice. It's never happened. Every single team that's beat us, we came back second time and won. So I think we were all kind of pumped to get out there. We just all wanted to win that game so bad, and it just kind of seemed like you know, like we made it this far, we did not come this far to lose.
Not
kind of
stopping
thing.
now, right?
So that was the best game we've ever played. I think everyone was just on their game. It was great.
The boys program here is excellent as well with the state banners. Is there a rapport with the guys players? Do you guys all know each other?
I mean, I know some of them, but not really like personally. They're all. I mean, the guys team was mostly seniors this year, so most of them were older than me. But I loved watching them play. They were so good, and it was like I was so upset when I couldn't go to their state thing this year because I wasn't home, but I remember just hearing they lost. I was so upset, but I love going to their games, supporting them. They were a really good team this year.
Yeah.
But
so when you see what they're doing, does that drive you? I mean, I know it's different ends of the school year.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the boys have a lot more banners up than we do, which is definitely kind of a little, I think, kind of competitive there.
Okay.
But no, I mean, they're a good team. They work for it and they get what they deserve. So
why, not just the girls' end, but why is volleyball so big at Hempfield? Boys, girls, intramurals, whatever.
I think what we have is our middle school parent, Gary Dim. I don't know if you know who he is. He starts the girls out in middle school, which is where, I mean, all of us started. And I think that's why we have an edge, because our program with the younger girls is so good, and we get them started out so early. And I think that's kind of what makes our volleyball program so good here is Gary Dim. He's a really incredible coach.
They start you young, and they kind of preach playing the right way.
I mean, I've been playing with all the same girls since I was in like 7th grade because it's a Hempfield program since 7th grade.
Yeah, I walk in tonight and there's like 5th, 6th, and 7th graders in here running around.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that too, but I think that's Mr. Dim's program too. I think that's what they're with.
That's the future. I mean, they're in there in the big gym hitting volleyballs. I mean, that's got to be exciting to them. I'm sure they look up to you.
I love watching them play. It's exciting to see. I heard that the class coming in next year, my senior year, I heard that's going to be a really good class, which is really exciting. I love it.
You're already hearing about those kids. That's pretty, okay.
Yeah, it's exciting to hear about the younger kids.
Now, you said you didn't really get involved and sticking your head in until maybe middle school, but once you realized that you were going to play here and, do the varsity thing, did you start looking up to those kids and realize there's a tradition here and I need to come in here ready to play and be ready to go?
Yeah, I started playing my freshman year. I was actually playing on varsity, and Ellie Ressler, she was the other outside hitter at the time, and I always looked up to her so much because she was one of the studs in the team that year, and I always looked up to her just because, Riley always gave her the ball. She was always putting the ball away. So, I was always behind her because I was obviously not as good as her my freshman year, but I definitely looked up to her. Megan Forbes, definitely her too. There was definitely people there who I tried to follow in their footsteps, I guess you could say.
Sure, okay. No, nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure there's going to be some kids that are looking at what you're doing and they're going to try to... So you want to be a good... teammate and a good leader, and it's okay if these little kids look up to you and want to follow in your footsteps someday.
It's weird to think that. I never thought of like people looking up to me. It's kind of weird to think that, but it's awesome.
Ellie probably thought that, and now you can come back and say, well, I looked up to her.
I don't expect it, but if they do, it's kind of exciting.
I'm finding now, not that volleyball has changed, but your better players are multifunctional. They're not stationary. They can play front row, back row, they can serve. Do you take pride in that, on being able to do some different things and not just being on the outside and that's it?
Kind of a recent, that's kind of like a recent thing for me too. My freshman year, the coaches would have been crazy to put me in the back row. I was terrible. And then I played club then after my freshman year, and that's when I really actually learned how to play defense. I've never been that good at it. And then coming into my sophomore year, I was like, oh my gosh, please let me play back row. I wanted to play so bad. And then honestly, now I probably like being in the back row more than the front row. It's fun. But yeah, that's definitely something new for me and exciting, being able to play the whole way around like that.
And that keeps you on the floor. He doesn't have to sub you out when it comes around.
I couldn't stand my freshman year being out of the game and you can't control what's going on. It's a good feeling to always be in the game and always be an option and just be able to actually be an impact, I guess, on the court. Sure.
You do have a lot of kids back, do you not? Is it nice having that camaraderie coming into this season?
Yeah, we have so many options this year. There's not a single person in the front row who can't put the ball away. Everyone's going to be so good this year, which is really exciting. Teams aren't going to know where Maggie's going to put the ball because I think every single front row player we have is going to be really strong this year. So
I don't know if the rest of the league wants to hear that or not, but Can you talk about that? Just can you talk about bullseyes and pressure? And you guys are supposed to win every year.
I don't like it. It's kind of fun, but it's over. You know what happened last season is over. It's a new season, and it was fun because like the whole winter and spring we could be like, yeah, we were state champions, but now that's over. It's a whole new season. It's kind of something that we can't like. I don't want to use the word cocky, so I wouldn't consider us a cocky team, but it's not something we can like keep pointing at now, saying, oh, look at our banner. And I would definitely say I think there's a target on our backs this year, but we were just at Juniata camp last weekend and Seneca Valley beat us in the finals.
Really?
Which, I mean, we obviously would like to win, but losing, I mean, it puts us kind of in our place. We know
see where you're at.
We know that we're not like undefeated already. I mean, we already lost. So, yeah, I mean, definitely something to work for. It's not like we're coming in here assuming we're going to do it again.
Yeah. I don't think everybody's going to roll over for you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to still go out and play. And this league is really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
your competition here is awesome. Playing volleyball in the LL and Lancaster and club, what are you getting out of this high school experience just from the competition level and the kids you're seeing and the teams you're seeing?
There's a lot. I know playing Penn Manor was probably our biggest opponent last year. We almost, it was the district quarterfinals. We played them. The game went to 5, and we barely won.
Wow.
And it was crazy. I know Ellie Rouse was kind of their big gun last year. I always looked up to her. She was definitely a person I looked at and was like, I want to be like her. I mean, still again, Penn Manor, Township, Warwick. We're gonna have all the same big opponents again this year.
And you're going to run into Central and Garden Spot somewhere.
Once we get farther,
and they're all good. You're going to see them somewhere in the leagues.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of good teams this year, but. I mean, like I said earlier, I think it's kind of just who brings their game that day, who's ready. Because I think out of all those teams, depending on what day it is, anyone could win. So I think it's just kind of who wants it the most at this point. I think everyone has the talent there. It's just kind of who's going to put all the effort into it. Right.
And you know what? I've been saying this for years. The journey's the fun part. And you shouldn't be looking at, November. Hey, states.
Yeah.
Now that you can look back, did you enjoy the journey last year, the league games, the non-league games, the tournaments?
I honestly, I love this team so much. Like, we have so much fun together. And I've been looking forward to the school season since like December last year.
Really?
I have so much fun with school season. So yeah, I would definitely say I don't wait for November the whole season. That's obviously my favorite part. It's the most nerve-wracking part. It's the most competitive part. But I mean, throughout the whole season, we have fun, and it's not like we're not playing good competition. We are throughout the entire year. So I mean, it's just like November. It's just November is when it really matters.
Sure. A lot of you guys kind of grew up with Coach Vogel, and now Coach Schwarn's here. How's the new staff? How's that all working out? How's he doing? This is only his 3rd year.
I've never met Coach Vogel. My freshman year, Pat was the coach. I know we start preseason like 5:30 in the track in the morning. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but we were like, the Vogel never did that from what I hear, and we were all like, this guy is nuts. This guy is crazy. And he was intimidating. He was scary. And now, like Pat, everyone loves him. And Tim, Matt, everyone. They could not be doing a better job than they are. They're awesome. I love those coaches so much.
So that was in jest when you said 5:30 at the track.
Oh yeah, well we were.
It's panned out.
I think even the seniors that year were like, "Who is this guy and what is he doing in
our
program?"
We're doing what on the track at 5:30?
We all heard that and we were like, "Is this a joke?" And then, but I mean, that's kind of I think what separates us is getting up at 5:30 in the morning and just working for it, and like I don't think other teams are doing that. So that's kind of, I know that's the one thing we always say, like when we get into like our district run, our state run, Pat's always like, are other teams doing how much work you guys put in for this? Like I don't think any other teams were getting up as early as you guys were, and it's kind of a motivational thing when you look back on it. Is like that wasn't for nothing. Like we're using that now.
Yeah, not much should phase you guys. By the time, like you said, by the time you get to November. You guys really shouldn't be phased all that much.
Yeah.
Is this something you foresee yourself doing next level, playing somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play college. It would be awesome if I could. I mean, D1's my goal here.
Okay.
But if it happens, it does. Definitely I want to play no matter what, whether I'm playing at a big school or a small school. I definitely want to play no matter what. But, I mean, I'll kind of see where it takes me. I'm only a sophomore right now, so I don't know if I'm going to, kind of plateau from here. I mean, obviously I hope to get better. But, I mean, there's still a long way to go. So.
And you might grow an inch or two. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully.
Stretch them out a little bit.
I would not complain with 6 foot.